Well, I was not expecting to be seeing you guys again for the third time today, but no sooner had I finished uploading our video from Downtown Disney, part one of that video actually, we've got another part coming tomorrow, stay tuned for that. No sooner had I finished what I thought was going to be a great video for everybody to see from Downtown Disney that I get news that Disney had confirmed indirectly through cast members that they're planning a food festival event, a Taste of Knott's type event for California Adventure. No sooner had I finished a video talking about that, which was just a few minutes ago, did I also get news, further news. Well, I shouldn't say I got the news. I've heard a rumor, WDWNewsToday is reporting a rumor that Disney is now talking about opening up, or thinking about, or possibly going to open Main Street on March 14th. They actually gave or cited a specific date, March 14th. Just a rumor from WDWNewsToday. That's hard to say. So we don't have any sort of secondary source on that. Some of the contingent factors that surround that move, I've been able to corroborate from another source, but not the actual Main Street rumor. So take that for with a grain of salt. It is WDWNewsToday. Sometimes they do really good rumor reporting, sometimes not so great. Again, grain of salt. So the date, March 14th. It makes sense that they would do this at the same time as the food festival. So my assumption is that Main Street would open up the same day as the first day of the food festival at Buena Vista Street. Or I should say California Adventure, because it's not going to be on Buena Vista Street. As far as the scope goes of what you're going to be able to do, it's going to be just like Buena Vista Street right now. Town Square, Main Street, and then the hub, leading up to the castle, but not into the castle. You'll be able to see the castle, really nice. But you won't be able to get into any of the lands. And then food-wise, I would imagine everything that's available will be there. The churro and popcorn carts, Jolly Holiday, Carnation Cafe, probably with a reservation, and then the corn dog cart. Those would be your food options. Again, I'm just speculating here. Now the question is, why? Why are we suddenly, because I had personally given up completely on any sort of idea that they might open up Main Street. I was of the mind that they had pretty much resigned themselves to, we're going to open Main Street up when Disneyland can open up. And the main reason is because of demand. Where are you going to put all those people who can't get, because you got to limit capacity into Disneyland. You got to limit capacity on the Main Street. So where are you going to put all those people who are waiting to get in to Disneyland? Certainly, I mean, I guess they could hang out at Buena Vista Street at Downtown Disney. But that's still going to, now you've got a lot of people waiting in those areas. There's going to be so much demand. I still don't know how they're going to do it. I honestly don't. There's already a lot of demand right now just to get into Downtown Disney in Buena Vista Street. You go in the middle of the afternoon right now on a weekend, and you're going to be standing out there in the California or the Paradise Pier Hotel for an hour or two, just waiting to get through screening and bag check. So you add Disneyland to that mix, certainly you're going to get more capacity, but there's going to be way more people that want to go than they can fit in there, obviously. So I have my concerns. But one of the reasons why I believe that these two things are intersecting, the rumor about Main Street and the news of DCA getting a food festival, is that they might be using the food festival to manage crowds, to create more demand to get into DCA. Now, the only problem with that logic is that it's a limited event. It's a couple days a week, and it's not a permanent situation. So I don't know. That's a nifty one. However, the situation that you create at Buena Vista Street, see, it's kind of a chicken and egg situation. Which I want to know which decision came first. If it was the decision to do a food festival at DCA or the decision to do Main Street at Disneyland, which came first, because each decision creates its own set of problems. But let's imagine for a second that they decided to do DCA Food Festival. They said, we're going to do this now. That requires you to I think you have to close DCA to anybody but those guests who have purchased one of those tickets for the food festival. It would be very, very difficult to manage allowing guests to run around Buena Vista Street and Hollywood Boulevard, but then not let them go further on into the park. I mean, you could post somebody out there at that entryway to the parade corridor, or you could post somebody there right by Carthay Circle, and then say, hey, this is for a hard ticket event, paid guests only. But you're going to get, I mean, a stream of guests saying, hey, what's going on in there? What are you guys doing in there? How come I can't get in there? What's up? Where do I go to buy a ticket? Can I get a ticket right now? Can I just go in there and grab a quick bite? It would be an endless line of questions just like that. So most likely that you have to close the park to only those paid guests. Knott's Berry Farm, same thing. On days when they're not doing an event, they might be able to open up Knott's Berry Farm and let people run around and go to the marketplace, which they have done in the past. But you can't have both. You can't have unpaying guests and paying guests in the same park. It just doesn't work. So where do those guests go that can't get into DCA for a food festival? Where do those guests go? Now, you could say, hey, dates and times are posted for these food festival events. Don't come to downtown Disney if you're not, but I promise you the demand will be there. There's a lot of people that want to get into downtown Disney and to California Adventure, Buena Vista Street, and the same amount of people will show up every day like they always do. Now you're gonna have to put them. You can't put all those people in downtown Disney. So I feel like the overflow of guests who can't get into DCA because they don't have a ticket to the food festival are going to need to go into Main Street. They open up Main Street now to handle those guests. Which then begs the next question that Liz asked me as soon as I told her about this rumor. She's like, why? Why would anybody, if Main Street at Disneyland is open, why would anyone want to go to DCA? I mean, it's a fair question. There are people who love DCA. There are people who love Buena Vista Street, and so there's that. It's a very good question, but the answer obviously is that they're not just having a food festival at DCA. They're going to open the entire park. That's what I think. That's another thing that is a possibility, is that they're not just going to hold this event. They're going to unleash all of DCA. So that's a tie, if you ask me. That's a pretty close tie. All of DCA or Main Street at Disneyland. That's a discussion all in and of itself. But I have a very strong suspicion, a very strong belief that this food festival will be just like they're doing at Knott's. They started off small. They started ghost town and a little bit beyond that, but then they just let the whole thing open. I feel like there's a very good chance that they're going to open up all of DCA, and that means Cars Land, not Avengers Campus. It won't be Avengers Campus yet, but Cars Land, Pacific Wharf, Pixar Pier. That's a lot of dining and shopping opportunities for a festival event, and that by itself would create a lot of demand, and it would certainly give people another choice besides going to Main Street. I would do both, absolutely. I would pay to go to DCA and do this festival, and then I would also go to Main Street. But again, the only caveat to that argument is the schedule. Limited days, limited time. So let's say this thing runs for a month. I think that's pretty typical for Food and Wine, I don't recall. Let's say it runs for a month. When that's over, what do you do? Do you keep DCA open, wide open? I think you have to, because that's going to create, you got yourself another demand situation. And then as demand increases, this is something we talked about in the video where we're like, how much would you pay to go to Main Street? As the demand increases for Main Street, how long before they start opening up the rest of the park to accommodate that demand? And I have a feeling the answer will be moot, because by the time we get to that point, by the time we finish this food festival, by the time demand reaches peak levels for Main Street, we're going to know when Disneyland is going to open. I mean, completely. So sorry for the ramble. I know this is kind of one of the strangest videos I've ever produced for a news site, because I just turned the camera on and started talking. I didn't have a script written for this or anything, so we're just you and I, we're just ham and egging this right now. But I wanted to get something out quickly because this rumor was pretty tasty, and I know that you guys will want to hear about that. So let us know your thoughts, you guys. Obviously, I believe you're interested in going to Main Street at Disneyland, but do you think it's real? Do you think it's possible? I'm of half a mind on it. I'm 50-50. I think it is real. I think it is possible. I think Disney wants to do it, and they know that we want it, and I think it can be done, but there are some really important questions that need to be answered, some really difficult things that need to be addressed. Crowds, I mean, this thing, it'll pop. I just know it'll pop. We are ready. Just look at the crowds. Just look at the crowds just trying to get into downtown Disney right now. Just look at it. Just look at the parking lot at Paradise Pier Hotel. That's all you need to see. All right, guys. Thoughts, comments, as usual, let us know below. The stats are looking pretty good, by the way. I'm going to close with this. The stats are looking really, really good today. We hit a low for new cases that we haven't seen. We have almost reached summer levels of 2020, and it's still going down. So I have a feeling if things get down, if new cases get down into the 6,000 or 7,000 number, just like I said in that other video, man, I think that that's all it's going to take for the state and Newsom to sort of change their plans. Right now, they're still under the tiered system, but that can change. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, guys, we love you very much. Take care of yourselves out there. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Fresh baked.